we had a pretty much red day today. And then yesterday, as I mentioned before, um, a lot of people hyped about the Bitcoin, reserve, all that kind of crazy stuff. And I did kind of mention this one. Don't be fooled by Donald Trump, right? Like, I'm not saying I'm against Donald Trump, but everything is algo driven. So especially right now for the Bitcoin crash, it's already happening. So whatever there's, when there's any announcement happen, right? So um, when there's announcement happen, maybe it's market makers or hedge fund or whoever the big institutions, they're creating these fractals, and it was completely hitting the same marks where as you can see, there's this thing pushed down and then suddenly push up, right, which perfectly match with the 2021 January 2022 January fractals, heading into a market crash. And yeah, that's kind of what exactly I saw, and then I kind of warned people, hey, gotta, you guys have to watch out for that. And then as I'm looking at it here, maybe it could be very instant, and then I think what we saw today was this dip here. So you'll be expecting a huge dip, I mean huge crash this month, near the March CPI release, between CPI release or FOMC meetings, which is happening on March 19, and CPI release is on March 12. So I'm expecting a huge market crash near that point, and then I don't know. Don't ask me why, but it's just the fractals is just kind of in that way where it just, yeah, just setting up that way, right? So I have no idea. It just the market makers and whatever long forces, not long forces, like big institutions, they're ready to pull their trigger, right? So yeah, they're gonna plug the plug and then they're gonna rug pull everybody. But yeah, I've seen news where people are betting against Bitcoin now. They're leveraging 50 times or something, right? So they know what's coming, right? They know what's coming. It's not only me that I'm looking at this way. There's a big people, there's big institutions are um, looking at the pretty much same way. So and then that's what we happened today, right? So you guys have to look at the bigger pictures, and then all those small things are just kind of some sort of a trigger just to create a fractals. And yeah, you shouldn't get excited about that. So these things will come maybe later, but this year is not a bull cycle. Okay, bull run already happened, so it already happened faster this last year. So bull market is gone, especially crypto market. So yeah, let me give you guys some updates on GME here. So this is a fractal I posted yesterday. So March Rally must begins this week. And then as you can see, based on the fractals that I'm tracking, things are very, as you can see, this blue fractals here, it's been hitting perfectly fine, right? Even the timing was great, but it's been dragging for a bit right now. They're maybe waiting for the announcement, or I mean, they could announce maybe at any time, but I don't know. They're just waiting for something. So this has been dragging out for a bit, and then I'm gonna show you where are we exactly, and then what can we expect this week. So let's have a look at this one. So this is the GME. This is too confusing, so I'll be starting with just fractals and the chart 1 second for in the beginning, and then I'm gonna move on to RSI and other indicators. So this is the May run. This is May 2nd. They create a gap up, making a first thumb, come down, creating a second thumb, and then third, right? Something like that. And then we are actually, right there. It's just been dragging out longer than I'm expecting. Right? Right? Because it should actually start to run actually last week, right? At least. But this has been dragged out. I have no idea why. Don't ask me. So this fractal has been completely, fine until we are at end of here. and I think they're just making waiting for the announcement, but they're still making same fractals but much more delayed. So let's have a look at this one. So for this one had a gap up. We also have a very similar thing here, gap up, right? Gap up, come down. This one didn't feel this gap, right? Was this? No, this is not even gap, right? So actually this is gap up. So May 2nd, the gap up happened in the second thumb wave. The gap up happened in the first thumb wave in the this year, creating this one, and then fill this gap and come down even a little bit lower. However, this is now where we're sitting at. When you draw a line here from the top to this one and this second thumping wave, third thumping wave to the top, all the way to here, this will give you on Wednesdays 12 o'clock. So this one should give us the direction on Wednesday 12 o'clock. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at right now, and I think many people who are looking at the TA on their way, I think they might agree with this one, Wednesday 12 p.m. So that's kind of somewhere where the direction has to show, right? This can show before then, right? Maybe this can show before Wednesday. Interesting enough, today the Donald Trump posted about the there will be some sort of announcement, right? And I don't know if there will be a announcement of GameStop, but Donald Trump mentioned that there will be some sort of announcement of for, I don't know, was it like from his investment or something related to maybe yeah. So I don't know yet what that will be. He said I think Tuesday market close. Yeah, this is the tweet, right? Donald Trump said tomorrow night, right? Tomorrow night is so he posted this one today, so which means that tomorrow night, which is Tuesday nighttime, right? So which will most likely could see a gap up on Wednesday, right? If something happened to the GME, or I don't know, whatever he announced, Donald Trump, whatever he announced on Tuesday night, if that I don't know if that will be related to GME, but whatever he announced, that will impact maybe the market. But that's kind of some sort of when GME should move, right? The GME should rally. So I think this is give us a very nice hint that something's gonna drop. I don't know what, but we'll see. So that I think that's why it's dragging a little more than I'm expected, right? So so basically we're just waiting for the announcement. That's pretty much it. So let's now have a look at much more tighter of indicator here. So as you can see, this is the end of the the thumping wave, and then right before the rally in May 2nd. When you look at the RSI here, the RSI is kind of showing you that there's a 1, 2, right? There's a 1 wave and 2 wave here too, right? And then this thing start to move slowly and then suddenly pop, right? So I think that's kind of what we saw there. Interesting enough, that's kind of what we saw. So when you just look at the RSI, let me pull this one up there. So when you just look at the RSI, there's 1, 2, right? So this is the first wave, second wave, the third wave, right? And then that's what exactly we saw: first wave, second wave, and the third wave. And after that, before the rally, when you look at closely, there's another 1, 2, right? There's one small wave. I don't even consider this as a wave, but if you want to just look at this way, right? So there's a 1, 2, right? So we saw this one as well. We're seeing this as well. Much more a stretched out version of this one. I mean, yeah, I don't know why, but yeah, that's they're taking a time. They want to do something with the right time, right? So that's 1, 2, right? 1, 2. So that's what we saw today. So tomorrow, I'm expecting a push up to $25 level again, right? And then Wednesday, uh, that's when we're gonna see a giant PP candle. And then I don't know if Trump announcement is related to GME, but something's gonna happen here, and then that will kick off, I think, the rally. Here's one. Here's another thing. I because the okay, because the fact that this has been dragging out, so I've been stretching out this one a little bit, but I personally don't think maybe that will happen, but I have to really be careful with the timing here. I do expect, because when you think about it, right, now when you look at the chart, there's some area where this has been stretched out, like currently, right? So especially when you go up to this point, I don't know, this will be shorter, right? So I think this will be stretched out. So I actually have this one stretched out this much. So it's very hard to speculate how long this will be stretched out. So we have a March OPEX, right? So we have a March OPEX, and I'm expecting they're gonna run this thing before the March OPEX, right? And then they wanna maybe slow it down here, right? They're gonna maybe try to pull it back and stuff like that. And then heading into March earning, right? There's a earning somewhere there. So I need to see how they're gonna run this thing, how fast they're gonna run this thing. I need to see that, but I think we're gonna see a nice breakout before the March OPEX week, and then this thing will start to kick off another rally, which maybe with a catalyst, or maybe this could be a gamma squeeze or something like that. It really depends. But based on this thing, because things are very slow, if this is slow like this, I don't really believe if this will move this way. But if this happens, this will more likely heading into this like this, because there's a lot of June call options. Maybe it's a big expiration day, so maybe they want to kill the June call options. So they want to run this thing maybe before June OPEX, right? That makes sense, right? So somewhere between March OPEX and June OPEX. But the interesting thing is GameStop doesn't have a May option change. That's very interesting, because if this goes like this way, very slowly, this could pick on May 2nd, but I don't know. Like I said, it really depends how fast they're gonna run. It's all about the speed of algo, and I cannot really comment on that yet, because we haven't really bounced. We haven't break out this the level yet. So once this thing break out, we gotta really pay attention to the speed of the algo, how fast this the candle start to run, and then how they're gonna forming things, and then once that's done, then I think we could sort of make a assumption where, okay, this could maybe hit pick around this time. But roughly estimate based on the speed of algo that I'm watching now, if they kick this off, I do expect they're gonna have some run before the March OPEX, and they're gonna pick before the June OPEX. So somewhere in the May, I think this have a pick, right? Maybe it could be early, right? It could be maybe April, right? So really depends, right? It really depends on the market maker. It really depends on the long forces, how they're gonna run this thing. If they run this thing very slowly like this, the way I show you in the yellow chart, that means the squeeze will drag out a little further, and we don't want that happening. But it's really depends. It's really up to Ryan Cohen. It's really up to people, whoever controlling these things. Some people wanted it. Some people want this maybe earlier. Some people wanted it later. I have no idea. But so this March rally will give us more hints. So I can give you guys more updates as I go. But for now, all I can say is I think Wednesday we should see a clear clear indication of a breakout, and then I think something that we should pay attention what Donald Trump announced on Tuesday night. I think that will also impact the GME run as well. So something's gonna happen with the GME at the same time Donald Trump announced it, right? Tuesday night. So that's kind of what I see here. One more indicator maybe I can show you here before I move on to next thing. I don't really have a next thing, but I'll show you something else. Let's have a look at MACD. We saw the RSI here, where this thing creating this kind of 1-2 thumping wave, like very small one, after huge this 3 waves. When you look at the MACD, so I'm gonna close down the RSI. When you look at the MACD here, so this one is first thumping, second thumping wave, and this third, 1, 2, 3, and pushed all the way down there, which what you're seeing here as well. This is much more severe than this one, but that's what they created. So and then now they're gonna start slowly. This MACD line is slowly coming up, and this one start to just go side, like maybe like just tilt it a little bit here, which what you see here as well. Very slow, when you zoom in, you can see there somewhat, right? So you see how this blue line. Let me just bring the pen. I mean, you see this blue. How come this is yellow? 1 second. Yeah, you see this. You see this blue line. Just go slightly tilted there. That's kind of what we're seeing here, I think. So tomorrow we should see start to moving upside again, like just slowly, and then by Wednesday should break out. Okay. So let's see what kind of announcement they're gonna have, from Donald Trump. Let's see if anything happened on, from GME or something, and then I think we're gonna start from this candle here. This was extremely fast at the time, so we cannot really compare. We can compare the direction. We can compare to the, where we're gonna go and stuff like that, but you cannot compare the speed of algo compared to May, because right now it's extremely slow. And then they're actually making a bigger squeeze here, so that's why they're taking long time, 10 or 11 times longer durations, and also it's 10 times or 11 times slower than May run. So anyway, so we gotta watch out how much this thing push up. But overall, I think we should expect a big pop, because when you compare to the last May, I'm expecting similar formations happening. So when you look at this thing from the bottom to the top, this was approximately 20%, whereas this one was approximately 60%. So this is like almost like exactly like 3 times bigger, right? Which may if that's the case, now when this thing started breaking out, this small candles, let's see how much this was. This is what 3%. So because it's 3 times bigger than May run, we should have something like, hold on 1 second. Yeah, about 9%. So when you start to see 9 or 10% pop on Wednesday, then you know that we are actually start to squeezing. I mean, not squeezing, but we are kicking off the rally. So once this thing start to breaking out, you see like 10%, 9%, something like that, then yeah, we are starting. So yeah, that's kind of GME. So yeah, let's watch out for that. Yeah, let me let me finish with DJT. So Donald Trump, the stock was kind of moving up in the pre-market. Like I think it jumped about 2-3%, and then this thing pulled back down, right? People might wonder why, but it's actually tracking the fractals and then creating a much bigger fractals than what happened in January this year. And then I did kind of went through it before, but if I kind of went through this again, as you can see, basically they're doing exactly same repeat of a cycle here, which what you see in this green box. So after this thing kind of pushed down here, as you can see, maybe I'm gonna turn this one down so you can see it better. But as you can see, this this whole thing, creating this you know double top, creating a double top here in RSI, creating some sort of also double top here as well, and then this thing start to pushing down. RSI hit all-time low here as well, but then stock price would hit one more time, right? To the bottom, right? So this one repeat the same cycle. So RSI hit the bottom, this thing pop, push down the stock price as well, right? So we are actually this one mimicking the same phase as here. After that, this thing start to moving up. The price is just kind of going sideways a little bit, go up and down, like creating a huge volatility. But interesting thing is the RSI is moving up. Relative strength is moving up, which is same kind of way of this January area. So RSI is kind of pushing up at here, and then which what you saw there, first wave. The second wave was this one, this first wave, second wave, and this small pop there. And I think that's what we saw today. So they're making a much bigger pop, in my opinion. So Thursday, so this week we should expect to see some sort of this kind of stuff, go up and maybe down, something like that. And then we should see a positive momentum tomorrow, and recovery, and then maybe pullback, right? But weird thing is the DJT doesn't really do much until Monday, I think, or Friday. So I don't know if they're gonna change the fractals, but we could see a positive momentum tomorrow, but we're not gonna see some sort of a giant PB candle like that until Friday or Monday. So I'll continually watch out for that. When you just look at the fractals attached to this is kind of what I see here, so they're making a much bigger candle there, right? You see, right there. So push up, come down. This exactly mimicking same thing, but much bigger. So the stock price now, when you look at this one, this went up 3%, whereas this one was about 10%. So this one is almost like more than twice as bigger as this one. So even this pop was about 13-14%. So if this is twice as bigger than this one, then we should see some sort of a 30, almost close to 30%, maybe. Somewhere there. So I think we should see a giant pop. I mean, it could be go higher, I have no idea, but we'll see. So tomorrow, we should see a positive recovery, and then we'll see. I'm still, I want to see this recovery tomorrow, go sideways, and then pop. This one's showing on Friday, so we'll see. But that's pretty much it for DJT. For AMC, I took a look at AMC. It's kind of weird that AMC was kind of breaking. One second, guys. I have this fractals here, but this one got pushed. Pulled back much harder than I expected, right? But we should. I think this one is kind of pushing downward like this way. So hold on one second. Let me just kind of adjust this the fractals here. So so I was kind of seeing this, right? You see pop, push down, and then pull, push up. We see earning pop, sudden pop and pull back, and this one was a much more harder push downward. But we see in that same kind of fractals here, where you see this pop, and then you see this thing push down. I think that's kind of where we at, So I do expect also AMC some recovery there, and then maybe they and they start to go downwards in April and until May 1st. I'm still seeing, yeah, I do expect, some sort of a pullback there, and then heading into a January squeeze phase. As I mentioned yesterday, I mean, I still have to see how this thing will play out. But as I mentioned yesterday, that because GME doesn't seem to squeeze in June, right? Really depends. I think really depends how this thing will play out. But if GME doesn't really squeeze in June, right? So yeah, I think I still see this thing maybe happening actually May. 1 second. So this maybe this drop here, yeah. So what I mentioned last night was we might play out as a cost in 2020, right here, right? So cost in 2020, when you look at it, this thing goes up and down, and then when this thing hit around 2020 one area, January area, that's when this thing squeezed, right? So I brought the fractals because I feel like AMC could maybe possibly go like that, instead of running a same fractals as a 2021 January and then May run, right? A June run. So I think there's a possibility where they could change the fractals because the environment is different from market maker side. So if really depends on, I think, GME, and then also BBBY is also kind of still ongoing, hearings and stuff. Hearing has been pushed to I think April. So yeah, it really depends. If something comes out in April, yeah, I think maybe that could be the reason why AMC kind of pull back, GME pull back, all that kind of stuff, and then pop in near June, and then pull back, pop again in August, pull back, and then heading into the final short squeeze here. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here, because once you start to see, the reason I see that way is because they're forming a huge triangle formation here, right? The end point is actually May, okay? End point is end of May, early May, or before June. So they can either push, just go like this, like June squeeze, like January squeeze, or they could do a small squeeze, and then have a pullback, and then create a triangle formation, and then have a giant short squeeze when GME and Bed Beyond blow out in this area. I think that's another possible way. Okay, so I have no idea. That's just my speculation, because somebody told me that you should look at calls, and I took a look at calls, and then that's what happened to calls, right, in 2021. They started breaking out of this. This one had a huge triangle formation, as well as as you see in AMC, right? So there's one forming a triangle formation. This even this one, when you line it up, this thing started breaking out, and then this thing broke out here. Wasn't a short squeeze, but this thing had a pop, pull back, had pop again, start to forming the wedge, and then that's when the squeeze happened. So I think it could be very similar to cost maybe for AMC run this year. Maybe it could pop like that, right? When I look at maybe the MACD or RSI, maybe they'll give me much more. How do you say? 1 second. I mean, I can't really see that yet, but let's check it out just in case. So this is cost. 1 second. You know what? Let's have the AMC on the left side. Let's have a cost on the right side. 1 second. So let me just adjust this one. So the RSI is right there, right? So the cost. Let's go back to 2021. Before 2021, let's see what happened there, right? Where is 2021? That's 2020. Was it 4? Okay, that's the May run. Okay, so actually I'm looking at 20 minutes. So I'll probably change to 2 hours. Yeah, maybe here. So let's have a look if AMC might be doing something similar to COS in the squeeze phase, sync squeeze phase. So let's see. So this one actually had this triangle formation, the wedge. Let me just delete this one. Just too many boxes here. All right, just keep it simple. Let's keep this one simple. Creating a wedge, pop, creating another wedge here, right? And then short squeeze, right? So so yeah, giant wedge is forming towards May for AMC. And then let's see where we at exactly. So AMC is actually RSI is kind of moving up like here, which means that this is 6 hours. Hold on, this is 8 hours. Let me change the duration of this one as well, maybe 4 hours. I know cost was a lot faster, so maybe I can yeah, I don't want to make it too long, but let's see. So cost was here, so I think yeah, cost was building up here. So yeah, it's definitely, yeah, cost was definitely like kind of, you know, have a very strong resistance, right? This, you know, it doesn't break below, right? It just, when this one had a volatility, this one had a very steady, right? So let's take a look at AMC now. Yeah, AMC is now start to having this yeah, this trend line here. So we should expect to see AMC. Let me delete this one. Yeah, this one is all-time low, which what happened here. And yeah, AMC start to pushing up. Yeah, AMC should start to pushing upside. I don't know if they're gonna do this way, but I think it's possible. Yeah. And then they're heading to this one. It's slightly different than COS, but yeah, it will be forming a final wedge near May. And then I think that we're gonna see a breakout, a sharp breakout. And then yeah, I think yeah, our side doesn't look the same, but as I compare to this one, but yeah, maybe it's right here or something. Yeah, well, yeah, this one. Yeah, maybe this one. Breakout. Maybe it will go like that. We'll see. Let me actually bring the same fractals here, because the way you see here, because we saw same pullback here, right? We saw a share offering happen here, and then we saw pullback, which what you see there. It's very similar, right? From here, isn't it? So AMC might, if AMC is mimicking same fractals as COS, let's see, because you know you want to be flexible, right? You know you want to have a you can just have an assumption where like, oh, market maker will, you know, run the fractals the same as 2020 AMC, right? You know, we can't really think that way. So we wanted to have a little bit of a flexibility that what if, right? We always want to think about what if you know, something, you know, happened this differently this time. So based on that flexibility, let's see if market maker changed their fractals when they announced share offering. Okay. So yeah, AMC is very different, right? AMC is very difficult stock, right? For sure. So yeah, so from that point when the Goldman Sachs did a deal with AMC that they want to do some sort of what do you call that, like, I don't know, some weird stuff, but yeah, so it kind of somehow matched with this one, right? You know, so if that's correct, AMC will pop this much. Yeah, I don't know if this gonna go this way. I mean, yeah, this is still tiny, right? The May, and then the other thing is, yeah, it's not gonna be the final squeeze phase. It's gonna be in May, right? So so we'll see. Yeah, we have to see how they're gonna play out, but it's possible they might be doing this way, because you could see there's some similarity there. because this thing, yeah, I think it might be. I think they changed the fractals maybe. Yeah, let's see. So March. Yeah, if they do this way, because Adam Aaron said there's not going to be dilution, so if there's no dilution, they're not going to use these fractals anymore, right? So heading into the May earnings, so pop, and then they could always you know what, they could always delay this thing, right? They could always make this one bigger. So yeah, maybe this can be extended a little bit. But yeah, let's actually have this both of them at the same time, because today was the day that I feel like AMC fractals could be changed. I kind of have that feeling, because this is the feeling that I have back in 2000. Back in 2000. Yeah, back in January, right? When I saw there was a more pullback than I expected, right? So, and I was comparing between. I had always options, right? I don't always have a one fractals. I look at several fractals, and and then I check. I was checking. I was actually comparing between 2020 cycle, heading into 2021 cycle, and then I also was looking at the May run, right? Last year May run. So when I saw some pullback, much more hard, sharper pullback, and then I thought maybe they might not, they might not be using the 2020 cycle this year, right? So and then even this AMC, when I saw a sharp pullback, I've been tracking with a 2021 cycle. It's been kind of matching perfectly until today. There was a sharper pullback. Should I consider as maybe just another sharper dip? I don't know yet, right? I can't really tell. I think I could kind of maybe see. Yeah, I mean, until we get to April, I think I'll say, okay, if we don't see this kind of reverse dive, heading into this area, if I don't see AMC, going down in April, then AMC is actually using cost 2020. I could say that, and which means that in December when Goldman Sachs got in, that's when the fractal change to cost. They flipped this one. So I still cannot guarantee yet. I want to see until April. But I want to have options between these two, where we have a 2020 AMC cycle, and now we have a cost cycle. And I think that's kind of a good way to start. Okay. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. So yeah, thanks for tuning in, and then yeah, let's see what's gonna be what will be announced on Tuesday night, and how that will impact the GME. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on that time as well. So have a good night, and I'll see you guys next time.